Okay, thank you. This is a very small group, so let's take this sharing an interactive way so that we can actually exchange ideas. So thank you, FeedbackFruits and Nanyang Poly, for the opportunity for me to share about the implementation of the professional competency model in our school, in the NYP School of IT. My name is Miow Ting. I'm the course manager of the Diploma in Applied AI and Analytics in Nanyang Polytechnic. So let me, this is the agenda for today. So I will make sure, because it's after lunch, so I will try to make my session more engaging and share about some success stories of my students to create some excitement in our journey as an educator. Okay, so let me go through some basic about MIP competency model. We started this actually in 2017. So this idea was actually brought up by the EMM meeting. It's kind of like work goal. They actually identify work goal for next 5 years. So what happened is that then they talk about this, how can actually how we can empower learners for work and life. You know, poly students, they come, when O-level students come to us, they have different dreams. Some of them want to go to university, some of them want to go to start work immediately due to family commitment or family financial status. And some of them wanted to start business. So how can we actually fulfill their dreams through this more agile and more competency-based learning? So that's why we actually we actually come up with this professional competency model with 3 main objectives here. First is to develop learner competencies for work and life more effectively, regardless of which pathway they go into. Second is an agile curriculum model that can respond quickly to industry dynamic needs. Industry changed so much, and you can see that now we are learning, last time we are learning software development, now we are learning AI, and AI changes every day. So my team is now looking at the LLM, and then yesterday they were telling me that they are looking at agentic Gen AI. So these are the things that we are learning. So we need to actually react very fast in our curriculum as well. And last but not least is to be able to operate and conduct programs in highly flexible and adaptive manner. In our school or in MIP, we actually have a lot of PET, which is a pre-employment education and training, and also continuing employment and training. So all the, continuing education and training programs. So in this way that we need to actually have a more flexible program so that we can actually deliver our courses in both PET and CET seamlessly. So later I will share more about this examples. Okay, so this is about some history. So we launched it in 2020, and we took in our first intake in 2021. Back then, Minister Ong was the Minister of Education, so he commented on this model and said that it's an unprecedented approach to course design and delivery. So the first cohort was the Diploma in Applied AI and Analytics. We just celebrated their graduation this year. So let me briefly tell you what are the differences, what are the difference between subject-based learning and also the competency-based learning. Subject-based model serve us very well. I mean, we have graduates, successful graduates working in the industry. I can't say that subject-based learning is wrong, but to move forward, there are more things to be done and more changes are going to be coming to our way more faster. So we need to be more agile and more adaptive to the changes. So that's why we actually come up with this new model. So in the subject-based model, what we observe is that you can see that all the learning outcome is actually compartmentalized into different subjects. So we have subjects like, for example, com skill, mathematics, all this. And normally towards the end of the semester or towards the end of the 3 years, students might not be able to see the relevancy, or they don't know how to apply when they need to apply. So that's why when we come to this competency base, we actually redesign the entire curriculum, and also we look at it differently. So that, for example, we introduce a competency unit. So you can see that the CMU, right, is actually one competency unit. And in this competency unit, we will actually, that means we will include the necessary knowledge, skill, and attitude into this learning unit. So for this particular learning unit, we are looking at more specific tasks. So take, for example, data visualization. We are looking at how you can actually develop a dashboard with different types of visualization. And you must know the data type, understanding the data type so that you can actually propose the visualization chart or the techniques to be used in the dashboard. So these are the things that we want to introduce to our students so that they can see, they can actually feel that the learning is more meaningful and is more effective for them. Okay, so basically we put a lot of time in the curriculum design and development. You can see that our for the inputs wise, we have 6 channels of input for the curriculum development. We take in the inputs from skills framework because for all the diploma, we need to actually have a targeted job role. And we need to look at the competencies needed for each of the job role. And other than that, we also have industry inputs. So we see inputs from the tech leaders and also those industries that require that job role. And we also get the industry transformation, the input from the industry transformation map, economic agencies inputs, emerging trends, and of course, voices of learner. So these are the inputs that we take in when we design the curriculum. So you can see that we put in greater emphasis to work with the industry, to co-create, co-develop, co-teach, and provide co-certification to learners. So this are when you design, we need to actually think of this way to find all the opportunities for all this. And of course, among the tutors, because when we actually introduce this competency unit, ComSkill no longer a solo unit by itself, but we get the teachers from the comms to teach at the relevant time. So take, for example, if I have this business unit, business needs analysis. So in the business needs analysis in the IT space, the students must be able to gather the requirements for the system they need to develop. So in this, the ComSkill teacher will come in to teach them about questioning skills, how you question. So the right way of to raise your questions, and then your interpersonal skill during the interview, how should you perform? So we actually have a role play for the assessment for them to actually gather a requirement from the user. And the ComSkill teacher will assess them as well. But you see, when you need to actually have a collaboration between the tech teacher and ComSkill teacher, you will know that there are a lot of discussion. And the teachers must buy in. So we actually spend a lot of time to guide them. ComSkill teachers will need to actually understand what the tech teachers will be covering. So they need to learn what is agile methodology, and then tech teachers not so much, but they need to actually incorporate the time for ComSkill teachers to come in to teach. So it's a new way of teaching, but I'm thankful that my colleagues are very supportive. They don't mind to try the new way. So they actually spend a lot of time and teach and then give suggestion as well. So these are the things that we do. And we also have this multiple entry and exit. So that with the co-certification, we can introduce the recognize their prior learning. And subsequently is the personalization of the lifelong learning. And then for the delivery part, since it's a competency-based, so we focus on the knowledge, skills, and attitude. So what learners should know, should be able to do, and what kind of attitude they should practice when they perform the task in life matters. Then we introduce different types of construct. Take, for example, workplace practice focus with the integrated interdisciplinary learning in their projects. And then we co-teach with a partnering school. And we also actually have more collaborative learning opportunities from among the schools. Okay, so when we first launched, we actually sought the support from different industry tech leaders. So they are very supportive. During design, we actually just knock the door. Can you come and work with us? So we actually have their support, and we also approach the university So for universities, they are very supportive, and quite a number of my students or the graduates of the first batch, they are in the universities. And they are into different courses like computer science, they are in comp science, AI, and business analytics courses. So we also have this collaboration with Singapore Institute of Technology to have a two-way articulation between the Singapore Tech to get the micro-credential to their degree. Yeah. So this is another program, specialist diploma, which is also on PCM based. So these are the things that we work with the university. So yes. Sure, no issue. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Would that mean that there may be duplicate, take for example, if I have two competency unit that require the same skill?
Oh, okay.
How do you ensure that
yes. So the teaching we only cover once, but the reinforcement is actually multiple times. So subsequently, in their project, they need to actually use the interview skill. There is no teaching, but they need to apply. That means they will be assessed using the rubrics. You get what I mean? Yeah, well, there is no duplicate. Reinforcement, yes.
Second question, sorry.
Yeah, no issue. It's good.
This model, when we design all the different units, are they confined within each diploma or cater for cross-diploma kind of?
Confined within the diploma. Yeah, later I will share the map. Yeah, no worries. Yeah. So there are some key aspects we are looking at for this PCM. These are the all key aspects. The first one, of course, is the competency-based learning. So we want to develop the work and life competencies more effectively. Learning should be intrinsically interdisciplinary and workplace practice focused. As I share with my students, you can't just be able to perform. You need to communicate. You need to like, for example, nowadays we are actually looking at one-year internship. I'm not sure about your, yeah. So for my cases, for my first batch, because it's a new, so I didn't actually have pushed them for that. But second batch, I have 7. And third batch, right, I actually have 20 of them accepted by the companies. So now I told them that when learning at the workplace and learning at the school is very different. Learning in school is very safe. It's a safe environment. But learning in the industry, there are a lot of skills you need to practice. You need to practice the technical skill. People will have a high demand on your technical skill. At the same time, you must learn how to actually collaborate with people. Communication is important. You need to communicate to perform certain things. So these are the things that we want to develop. And a job model that maximizes the relevance of courses and graduate. The micro-credentialing is actually on top of the diploma certificate. They also can get co-certificate issued by the school, the institution, and together with our industry partners. So it enhances the potential for us to co-develop, co-teach, co-mentor, and co-certify with our industry leaders. And the last two, right? The number 6 one is the things that we are still doing now, which is the CMU, reusability, enhanced productivity, and time to market for courses. So take, for example, data visualization. Data visualization is a basic skill, and going forward, for IT students, this is a must skill in their skill set. So, but for this data visualization can be applied to other schools as well. So we are looking at the learning objects, reusable learning objects or reusable learning unit, so that can be applied to other schools as well. Because the concept of like the visualization technique, the concept of designing is about the same. It's just that you need to, when you cover the practical, maybe you need to contextualize according to your school needs. And last but not least is actually the intrinsic support for lifelong learning. Okay, so this is how we design. Okay, we started with very small group. I think four or five of us initially. Then after that, after 1 month, one of colleague left, so left 4 of us because there are too much work. There are too much work to be done. So this is the entire competency map for the diploma within 3 years. And you can see the rigor, and my students say that, well, teacher, your course quite challenging. But I have A-level students to join me, and they told me that, teacher, your curriculum compared to A-level is nothing. So, I feel that my curriculum not that bad. Of course, we need to introduce some rigor for them to be able to work in the industry and also to be able to do well in university. So we can see that for this one, these are the 9 course competencies. The 9 course competencies that students will get at the end of the program. And in their transcript, this will print out. This will print out in their transcript. And when we shared this with SUTD told us that now I know what your students can do rather than what they have learned. So this is something that industry also looking at, and they need to know what they know how to do. Yeah. So these are then you can see that we also have this complexity level. So we have a descriptor for the complexity level 1 to 5. Level 1 to 5 is actually for PET, the diploma students. Then 6 and 7 is for our CT. So later you can see that we actually have a progression from PET to CT. And for this group of students, right, they need to learn all the learning units. And there are 2 dimensions here. One is actually this. You can see that each line is actually a learning path from zero knowledge to skill mastery. Okay. Then after that, we have this region. So we are looking at the skills vertically, because in each individual competency units, right, we're very targeted and focus on tasks, a specific task. But in industry, when they are working in industry, it's no longer so specific. You need to actually integrate all the skills that you have learned. So we actually design another construct, which is the canvas, competency canvas, where the learning units is grouped, the related learning units are grouped together for them to perform a task. And they will perform a higher order task at the WIU, which is the red has gone here, the visual analytics project. And you can see that the canvas itself also there is a progression. So first, for this group of students, they will learn visual analytics canvas in their year 1. Then after that, progress to predictive analytics. Then after that, text and social analytics, because from the data analysts, they need to look at both structured and unstructured data. So early of the diploma, they will just focus on the structured data. But subsequently, they are focusing on the unstructured data. Then after that, looking at the AI in the later stage from the year 2, SEM 2 onwards. So this is how the entire curriculum is planned. And I will go into the details. I will take this statistical research methods as one example. So this is just now I mentioned, right? For each of the learning unit or competency unit, we actually integrate the technical skills and life skills in one learning unit. So the learning will be meaningful. So in this case, right, we cover the probability and statistics. We also cover data analytics and other. They need to actually apply or learn how to work with people. So interpersonal and collaboration skills is needed for their team assignment. They need to apply their critical thinking when they actually present the business insights based on the data collected. And they also need to practice the innovative thinking so that they can actually come up with the research ideas or for their assignment. So for this part, we have a co-teaching from the com skill teacher. They come in to teach them how to do a proper business and research writing. So for this, referencing, like for example, info literacy, referencing, all this will be covered in this unit. At the same time, the com skill teacher will teach them how to write the research findings and followed by based on the APA standard. Okay, then now I talk about the canvas. So when you look at this canvas, you can see that there are 4 learning units are involved in this particular work in project. So which means that the learners they need to actually apply what they have learned in each of learning here into this project. So, and the assessment will be based on what they have learned for each of the stage. So we have a project guide for them, and then they need to go through different stages. So data preparation, then or requirement gathering, we will actually evaluate based on what they have learned in the business needs analysis of this. And we also actually assess them on the life skills audits. They need, like for example, in the project, we have a team like maybe is Singapore a good place to stay? And they need to identify their audience. The audience can be young parents, can be retiree, or teenagers like them. So they need to interview what they want to see in the dashboard. What do they want to find out? On what is the status, like whether Singapore housing, whether Singapore supported their citizens the citizens enough. Actually, they also look at other countries' data as well. So it kind of we also introduce the global perspective to them so that they can actually look at the data from other countries. Okay, so now we talk about the lifelong learning. So just now this is actually for the DAAA, right, the Diploma in Applied AI and Analytics. So with this, right, they can, if let's say students wanted to start work immediately after the diploma, at the same time they want to further studies to a specialist diploma, we actually provide them with this. And you can see that for a specialist diploma, they just need to complete 2 out of the 3 so that they can actually get the additional cert. And you can see that this one is actually introduced in the DAAA. So with this, they just need to complete 1, 2, and 1 WIU, which means that instead of taking 4 learning units to complete 1 PDC, the cert, you can actually just reduce by 1. So we provide the credit exemption for them as well. Okay, so these are how we support them in the lifelong learning. Okay, so just now I mentioned that you actually gave us a lot of opportunity in co-create, co-teach, co-mentor, and co-certify with the tech leaders, right? You can see that we infuse the professional certification into our curriculum, and we also actually invite them to teach them in one of our session. We can't, this is based on the arrangement, so it depends on the availability of the professional. But we would love them to come in. And Dell is the very supportive one. Dell actually came into my curriculum every year. They came in to teach about the cloud native. So they also mentor the students in the competition. So all this actually give us a lot of opportunity to work with the industry. And last but not least is the co-certification, where we actually have a co-certification arrangement with 4 industry leaders. Okay. Then now I talk about the success stories. All these are actually from the first batch, first cohort. They perform, I think they must some form of the assessment by the industry, who is our stakeholder, important stakeholder. So that's why we actually collect the feedback from the industry, from the internship companies, and then also we collect the feedback from the learners. Later, I will share some of the feedback from learners as well. And you can see that these are I would say that they are stronger, or actually for my, we had a lot of discussion during lunch about IT students. So some of the IT students actually can perform well as long as they put in. But for Nas case, right, he didn't do very well in academic, but he found opportunity by himself, like for example, participate in competition. He loved that. And he loved community work as well. That's why he actually came out with the idea on this real-time sign language AI translator and won the award. And Shiqi came from A-level. She didn't do well in her A-level, but she found her interest in cloud computing. That's why she pursued further, and then she won this WorldSkills Leon 2024 bronze medal for the cloud computing. And the other 2, this girl is, because of the introducing Google tools in our program, that's why she also got this Google Innovation Award and SES Institute Award for the outstanding project work. Yeah. And she also awarded for the Girls in Tech. Yeah. So these are the things that we we do for our students. And for Joseph, we are very proud of him because he was one of the 10 candidates selected from the 1,000 applicants from Asia. And he told me that actually it's the plotted practical test, and you cannot use Google. So everything you need to test, and then the leaderboard is actually real-time leaderboard. And you can see that all your competitors from all the universities in Singapore and worldwide. So it's very stressful. Yeah, not easy to get. Yeah, but not second batch. I do not have anyone got into this. Yeah, really based on the individual training. So these are some of the feedback. I didn't extract all, but I actually have 3 slides, so I just include 1 slide. And I just want to share that for this group of students, right, they are not top students. And the bottom 3, right, these 3, right, their GPA is below 3. And you see, nowadays I think industry, they are very open. They are looking at competency rather than score, rather than GPA. I have students below 3, they got into 1-year internship, they got into 6 months internship, all this. And the feedback about them is all very outstanding. Yeah. So that's why I find that in competency, at least give another perspective to those weaker students. They are not defined by the academic result, but at the same, they are valued by the industry. Yeah. So these are something that I just want to share. Yeah. And these two actually now in our work, in this specialist diploma, so they actually offer, is a work study program. So the company actually sponsor their studies, and they also get this sign-on package, sign-on bonus, 5,000 or 5,000. So they actually got this, and then they pursue. Currently they are in 2nd semester, so after that they can actually pursue their studies to university, yeah, to Singapore Tech. So this girl, I didn't put the salary here. Actually, her salary is 3.5. 3.5. She got 2 offers, one from the internship company, but she actually tried another company for interview because my colleague actually introduced her to another one. Then she got that opportunity, and the company offered her 3.5K, which is very high. Yeah, but yeah. So that's why I find that now industry actually really look at the competencies. Yeah. Okay, so now what we want to do for students that much, right? How they perceive is also very important. So we have this student engagement survey. I believe that all the Polytechnic will have this. So very complex. We need to actually list out, this is our KPI. So we need to look at the questions. Each question is actually tied to the life skills, that MOE life skill. So we can see that 7 out of 10 life skills, right, they actually they gave us 90% of positive ratings. And then the other 3 also achieved 80%. And they feel that they are competent. They are confident with the knowledge and the expertise that they have attained. So these are all what we want to achieve for our students. Okay. Then this is actually my current year 2 and year 1, year 2, year 3 cohort. So these three actually, this one doing 1 year at MICE, and because won the competition, then after that they offer him a full year internship opportunity. These 2, 6 months internship, and then this one is the start their own business, presented to Ming Chan, and this one is the Dell competition this year recently, 2nd runner up, and this one PSA Spring this group year one students. And this boy, just now I was sharing with colleague, he was from RI. Nowadays, I think new generation are very different. He was from RI, completed J1, and he did very well in J1. His promotion exam, he got 3 A's and 1 B. But he told me that he chose to come to Polytechnic because he wanted to do AI. He took this H2 computing in JC, and then he told me that I just want to do IT, I just want to do AI. So that's why he told his parents to drop and then choose the Polytechnic. But I was thinking that if I were the parents, I might not I might not be, I mean, we are parents, right? I mean, we might not be able to accept, but nowadays the children are very different. They have their own idea. Yeah. So that's why I was so thinking, Okay, then I cannot fail them, right? I need to do more, give them more opportunity to perform well and make sure that they can get into university. Yeah, so that's the tough part. And given that this cohort, actually our cutoff is 3 to 9. It's very competitive, very competitive. We so we need to cater for weaker students. At the same time, we also need to give opportunity for those outstanding students. That's the challenge. Yeah, so competency-based is not just within the classroom, but also outside of the classroom. So for our case, we try to give more opportunity to the students. Yeah, so that's all. And I have some slides. Just now, actually, KB asked me about the assessment. Okay, assessment of competency in the real competency learning, competency-based learning. It's just to whether you're competent or not competent. And there is no time constraint. So what happens is that for our there's a competency-based assessment in the traditional grading system, how we handle it is that we define the competencies. So we need to actually identify the core skills and knowledge, and also provide the detailed competency descriptions for students. And then we also design assessment, so that the assessment must be more competency focused. Must more assessment for learning with the competency-focused feedback. Like for example, dashboard, we will say that which one is not so good, how you can actually improve on that. And assessment of learning is aligned with the competencies, what the industry wants. Then for the grading, we need to have a grading, because if not, then how the students go to the university? So we will create we already created these rubrics that link to our competencies to the grades, and then the competencies based on importance. And last but not least is to define the grade based on their performance. And then for the communication, we also actually provide clear rubrics and criteria and offer regular competency-focused feedback. So in all the project or in all the assignments, we have assessment rubrics on what they will be assessed, and then how their performance is tied to the different grades. Yeah. Yes? Any questions? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes?
No, first I was congratulating you for
no, it's the colleagues, my colleagues are. Yeah, a lot of hard work.
May I ask if this PCM is also applied to all other diplomas?
Yes. So by 2026, right, all our PET diplomas will be on PCM. SBM, our School of Business, our School of Applied Science already implemented in this year, 2024. School of Engineering and School of IT, because I was pilot. So once pilot, right, then during the time I was decoupled from Common ICT program. So now I need to go back to my ICT program, so that my Common ICT program students can actually choose this DAAA. Yeah. So next year onwards, School of IT, School of Engineering will be implementing.
To set it up is already very complex.
When
things change, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Make changes very quickly.
Yeah. Okay. You have to. Like for example, Gen AI. Right, when I start, there wasn't any Gen AI. So I told my colleagues, we need to include this Gen AI. So we look at the competencies unit, right? So like for example, ours is NLP. We have NLP, natural language processing, and also the deep learning. So I asked them to put in the LLP, the LLM topics. That means they remove those that are not so relevant, and then put in the LLM. Yeah.
Another question.
No problem. Yeah.
So with this structure, right, is there more flexibility for students to decide what they want to do? Let's say, is it all like prescribed for them, or can they choose what they want to do?
They cannot choose. They cannot choose. It's a compulsory. The entire map is actually the. Okay, for this one, right? The entire map, they need to do all this learning unit, except for the final year the year 3 semester project. They can choose to go into big data or apply AI. So my students, they can do data engineer role, or they want to go into the app developer, AI app developer. They are okay, but maybe second level will be the data analyst. So all of them are trained to be data analysts. At least they know how to do the visualization. That's the minimum. But those that with the deeper or higher competencies, they can actually go into the AI app developer or big data engineering.
So the map is by each diploma
this entire map is the diploma. For one diploma. So every diploma will have this competency map.
And then within each diploma, maybe one or two options, but there are no like different pathways that students can choose.
No, they cannot choose. Yeah, they will complete. That means they will graduate with these 9 core competencies. Yes. Mm. Yes. So what we do is that we do the mapping. So the learning outcome, right? When we choose the project, we need to have data analytics and AI projects. So I will look through. So when the ITP internship coordinator, right, they will send all the course manager all the list of the projects. I will do the first filtering. Those that like cybersecurity, nothing got to do with my students, so I will remove. And then those that maybe software development one not so much related, so I will remove. I will just look at analytics and data and AI projects. Yeah. Yes.
Let's just find out from you. Out of all those who have graduated, your first batch just graduated, right? So out of that lot, how many have gone into your specialist diploma, your CL6 and 6 and
Okay.
CL7,
Yep.
as well as those who have gone to university and
okay.
Go into the workforce?
So for this one, none of them go into this business and big data analytics because this is not under the work study program.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we want to push them. We want to give them to sign up the work study program so that they can get sponsorship. They can get the sign-on bonus. Yeah, 5,000. So that's why we will push them for this work study program. Yeah, so we push them for this work study program, and then subsequently they can get exemption from the.
Percentage, like those go into the uni with their,
I have.
would you have a gauge?
Yeah, I have a slide. Actually, for pilot program, we need to collect a lot of data. So I need to call all the students, which uni are you applying, which uni are you landed at? So we have, actually I have a slide, but later I can show. So based on the majority of students, although Minister Chan wanted, because he mentioning that we are training workforce. But the problem is the parents' expectation and the students' expectation is going to university. Yeah, so we still need to train them for both paths. I think our role is that to prepare them for both paths. They can choose either one, or subsequently they have many paths. So for my case, right, all the girls will go into university, right? And even majority of students will further studies. And for my statistics now, because some of the boys they take their own sweet time. So they are in NS, then they will not immediately apply for university after graduation. They will maybe wait for 1 year or 2 years, then they will apply for university. So based on my data, I have 19 got into a local university. I only have actually my first cohort very small, 48. Now I have 60 plus or 3 classes. So I have 48 students, graduates, and 19 of them actually go into autonomous universities. Yeah, and NUS actually quite a number. They chose computer science, business analytics, and comm engineering. Yeah. So for this course actually is offered by School of IT. They can get into comm science. They can go to AI. Nowadays there are quite a number of AI courses. SIT has it. NTU I think just introduced 2 related to AI, and they can go into business analytics or data science as well. So I told my students is that some of them actually with GPA 2 point something, they told me that, teacher, how I cannot get into local university. I told them that actually my niece also graduated from Poly, and then her diploma was diploma in accounting. And she made the decision by herself to switch to data science. And then she chose the UniSim. There was one course on data science offered by University of London. Now also doing well in the industry. So I told the students, don't need to worry. You can still pursue get this degree. Then after that, you can actually get a master in local university. Because getting to autonomous university for master is easier. With the working experience we do. So it also actually encourage them to actually have a lifelong learning mindset. Yeah. Yes? This one? Wait, I'll show you this one.
So I presume each of these competency level is 1 semester.
No. Competency level is based on competence. We have another map is mapped them to the program semester.
your color map is your canvas. What's that?
Sorry, this one is actually based on the complexity level.
No, the color.
The color is not. The color is the canvas.
The
It is the canvas, but canvas is tied to a semester.
Okay, that is tied to a semester.
Yeah.
So does campus also define the requisite to move on to the next?
We don't say it as a requisite. We put it as a supporting. But
so
yeah.
Let's say a student fail business analysis, can he still take share analysis or data structure administration? I mean, this
Yes. So in our case that, okay, we actually discussed, debate on this many times in our committee. Now with the more diplomas are on this PCM, we actually, in our school, in our NYP, we have this PCM implementation committee. So we can discuss and then we also seek approval on certain things. So take for example for this one, this case for whether it's a prerequisite. In this case, ours is actually supporting. So which means that if let's say students attended before, that means they attempted to that learning unit, we are considered they have learned it. So they can actually, if let's say they repeat, right, they can take with the next one concurrently. So this is somehow we want to support the student better, so that we don't want to delay their graduation timeline. So that means either 60 or 30. 60 is a minimum. And actually we try out a lot of things. We try out the term learning unit, which means that 8 weeks we finish one learning unit. Okay, last time we actually have idea. You know, when we started this PCM, there are a lot of things because so pilot program always try out and then doesn't work. Then we got to how support. I mean, we will explain to the students and then we try to make their learning reduce the regret and give them more support. So what with the one-term unit, we realized that PT students, they need more time. They need more time to understand the concept. Initially, we introduced it is actually for the CT space. We want to actually have this 8 weeks so that we can combine our PT and CT learners. CT learners are not, companies will not be able to send their staff for 15 weeks or 17 weeks. So we want to try out maybe 8 weeks is something that is applicable to the company. So that's why we introduced it. But with what we have learned, with all the learning point in this program, we actually give recommendation. So for the implementation of the School of IT for the entire, all the diplomas in School of IT, we actually remove the term learning unit, which means that 2025 onwards, we do not have this. Yes, and 60 hours. We find that. Yes.
Sorry. I just wonder because you teach the CT and the PT students the same thing.
Okay, for depends. Personally, I teach in both so I have night class for CT learners. For this data journalism, we actually offer in both PT and CT. So when I taught PT, right? Yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah. So when I was teaching PT, I find that they are able to do. They are pretty fast. They are pretty fast to and quite independent when they go through the steps. But whereas for this, for the adult learners, right? For our adult learners in the particular course, they actually without any IT background. So in this case, actually, my CT learners go slower, yeah. When they follow the steps, actually, they are slower, yeah. So it really depends on who are our audience for the CT. We also have those advanced ones like specialist diploma in applied AI. Those are more techy. That means they are more technical adult learners. So those can be very fast. Yeah. But we also have those that without any knowledge and then came into this applied AI course one. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I want to ask you about the micro-credentials.
Yep.
How do you go about it for your PET?
Okay, so when we started, when I first designed, I actually touch base with the industry. So for Microsoft case, Microsoft, when we discuss about curriculum co-development or this. They are very generous. Take for example AWS. They give you everything. And now actually, based on my experience, AWS, the academic support and their portal is more user-friendly and more comprehensive. So for this case, AWS has their own policy. They would not be able to do co-certification with us. So individual company will have their own policy. But for AWS, you don't want to do co-certification with me, it's okay. I just still want to incorporate your curriculum. And then subsequently, I encourage my students to do professional cert. Yeah. So for that, then we actually, when we start the discussion, we will start with the co-development. Then after that, to talk about the co-certification. But different company will give you different criteria. Microsoft will tell you that I can issue the co-certificate with you, but I have one criteria, is your student must pass my professional cert. Then they issue the co-cert. So these are the criteria that are given by the company. Oracle Academy and SAS Institute, they trust us, they trust our educator can deliver the content. As long as they pass the learning unit, they will issue the co-cert. Yeah, so different company will give you different criteria. Google also never do co-certificate with any institution. Yeah, so that's why we just take whatever they want to do with us. Yeah. So we also need to protect our own institution. Yeah, sometimes something that we cannot do, really cannot do. Yeah, we are very prudent. Yeah. Is there any more questions? Oh, thank you. Sure. Yeah. 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 Thank you.